What's the three most difficult words to say in the English language? I am wrong. So yesterday, and this has been the technique that I've used for 4 years, I've allowed myself to be wrong. And the technique that I've done is I've said, if there's something here that might be wrong, but I can't disprove it, but it fits in my model, I'm going to put a ball around it and carry that as a coefficient of potential wrongness and see if it opens up any further doors. And what's happened on the journey is that some wrongness went, oh, that is wrong, but by taking the wrongness, it got me to a place. Often it would go, I see why that is like that now. I can now draw the circle of certainty around it and anchor it into the model. And so yesterday, I was really excited. 2 days ago, I found I saw the image of the cosmic microwave background in a way that I'd not seen before. Tegmark did the same work, but you don't really get the sense of what's happening in terms of anisotropy and the difference in temperature in the zone of the cosmic microwave background. The image that's shown with the red and the blue, so beautiful, so perfect, with an equator bleeding, a damaged equator, by the way, bleeding. That's because you can see that. It's indicating that the spheres are weak, the force is weak, and so there's bleeding at the equator. But what I'm actually seeing, I believe, was the tennis balls. I've always looked at the tennis ball and realised that that's two hemispheres of equal area, but with a circumference of, I called it, a circumference dash, let's say, the dash circumference it's the longest possible line around the two hemispheres maintaining the same area, and that's a tennis ball. So the line of the tennis ball is really long, and the two hemispheres are the same area as two hemispheres with a straight equator. And so when you take the easy model, the two hemispheres, and twist the top to the bottom 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, wound up, anti-clockwise. Clockwise. Clockwise. Wound up clockwise. Now that sets the motion running of anti-clockwise rotation inside, because the dimension that the hemispheres are, the bottom one is a body of water and the top one is cavitation with a meniscus dome, heat dome around over it, and that heat dome, the surface of the cavitation is greater than the force of the body of water below it, so it forms a cavitation around the whole sphere, creating us two hemispheres of fluid and cavitation. And the cavitation is the negative meter cubed. It's the vacuum energy, it's space created by cavitation, vacuum energy expanding. And it's expanding in the elastica of the sphere of water around it. Now when you twist that up and because the duration of time from the outside to the center there is a time differential, there is a flux created. A motion is created between the circumference and the center. And now that motion creates an additional energy at the center. So there's expansion force at the center, pushes out, causes a viscous membrane atmosphere, which pushes back. That pushback is in an orthogonal plane because it's viscosity against expansion. You see, expansion pushes up, viscosity pushes sideways, the sideways force. And so when that sideways force goes back to the center, it causes a twist. And so the two waves, the north and south poles, twist around each other, creating rotation. That rotation creates the vector axis. And so now the axis of the universe constructs its own free bearing at the center. And so floats on its own specific gravity at the time particle, at the center of the planet, the dot point, at the center of the planet, constructs its own buoyancy. So there's a cavitation there that's fully cavitated. It only exists as potential force. And so the shape of the time particle, Thoth's beak, twin standing vortex twisted over, exists as pure force. There's no fluid below it. So it's greater. So it has a more vacuum energy. And so it's floating in its environment. And everything else around that time particle is the mass, the assemblage of mass and force in gradated layers based on the difference in the temperature that's trying to adjust itself. So that because this rotation occurs, there is a temperature differential. One of thing is doing work, and the other thing is being worked on. So one thing is entropy will be exuding heat, the other will be absorbing heat. Yeah, and this is permeability and permittivity. This idea, and they're just between each other. It's a constant recursive cycle that you can't ever stop. It's always one. It's always doing that. But when you take it out to the elastic of the planet, you see it's the perlite layers of carbon and iron as they're going out in the planet. You can see it working itself out. Because the temperature differential is greater in one direction than the other. Temperature goes up and then drops. Up, drop, sawtooth wave, elastica motion of planet. Now, so I've got simple two hemisphere model equator, top cavitated twisting causing center differential twin standing vortex, creating a cosmos, a universe, the cosmic microwave background. Now, we know down here on Earth that the free bearing rotates every 24 hours. It should be exactly 24 hours, but it rotates inside its own atmosphere. So now we can see the model of the outside of the sphere, inside of the sphere, atmosphere, inside of atmosphere, Earth bearing. Bearing rotates 24 hours. Now we know that the light has flicked. The twisting motion at the center has caused the hemisphere of fluid and cavitation, which are equatorially split on an XY, on an x-axis, but on a z plane. So there's an x-axis, horizontal, assumed theoretical, and there's a z plane, 137 arc seconds. That is the flat surface of the equator. Because it's got a tilt in it, because of the temperature differential that's created, remember, difference between permittivity and permeability, the twist that's created flicks the light up because the light has no mass. So the hemisphere of light that's created inside the free bearing now rotates on a north-south axis, goes round. And so now you can see the atmosphere, see the atmosphere created of the Earth in a place, and that atmosphere is rotating relative to the Earth. So if you take the Earth as stationary and you rotate the atmosphere, it would flick up. First thing that would happen, it flicks up. And in flicking up, it creates a vector axis. And so now it's created a vector axis, the E hat, Euler, off that Z disk. It's got a bend in it because of the vortex. It's alive. It's the vortex that creates the North Pole. And you see the lights, the northern lights. That's what you're seeing, the effect of that vortex. The major vortex is at the pocket vortex, right? So that's the pocket vortex. The main vortex, you can't see it. You see the effects of the pocket vortex. So the atmosphere is now, you've now got a hemisphere, right, of light that's gravitated to a hemisphere flicked up, causing the vector axis. Now there is another motion. Remember, you have got such mass on the outside of us, the Earth stationary, trying to rotate, forcing itself around, right? That the temperature now moves, has a vector. And so the temperature at the center, the equatorial plane, the yin-yang of temperature going around, look at it, black and white, one's coming towards you, one's moving away, sawtooth wave, action backwards electricity, static electrostatic charge, piezoelectric effect, counter-snap action, elastica. That what you're looking at in that picture, the cosmic microwave background, is a fucking hemisphere. The inside of a hemisphere. And you're seeing the rotation of temperature measured by the NASA 2014, that pulse, 0.001 to 0.009. Pulse, pulse, pulse equals gravity. Let me join them together for you by referencing Dr. Victor Levy. Yeah, so I was wrong. It's not a tennis ball. It is a tennis ball, but the half of the tennis ball we can't see is because that's consciousness. That's the singularity. That's the point of observation. That is where God exists as the other half of the hemisphere of the cosmic microwave background. The dark half. The dark matter. There's no dark matter. It looks like the tennis ball. We can't see it because we are it, but we can derive it. You get me? Do you get me? Yeah. Look at that image. Yesterday I was wrong. Today I'm probably still wrong. But I'm a lot more right than they are. Let's fucking go. Follow the Rebel King.